everyone, and welcome back to Draft for Game 2. What an interview by Cubby, and yeah, Jim, I don't disagree. It was amazing game sense, amazing performance from everyone on your team, and I don't think you could have said it any better, but we are geared up in the Draft for Game 2. Thresh Center Rumble all banned away by Homeless Prodigies with their selection of the blue side. AOE randoms have decided to take away the Udyr and the Kayn, hyper-focusing on that jungle role.
Yep. Okay. Kayn is a big favorite of Perry, so they don't want him back on comfort. They want to continue trying to dominate the jungle. I don't necessarily think Perry, did exceptionally poorly in that game. It was just really a matter of a lot of tempo windows being taken by Josie. You want to be ahead in camps on the Rumble when you are in a sort of favorable clearing situation, and it just didn't quite come together. I would say for Homeless Prodigies, it didn't really get setups around Drakes. They didn't get a lot of priority, from their sort of counterpick melee mid laner there. So a lot that went against him in game number 1, but AOE randoms definitely want to continue that based on the bans. And they also don't want to hand over the Jinx to Jaeger. So that's taken away. And that results in a Morgana, which is going to be answered by Olaf. It is going to be answered by Olaf for Josie.
Oh, what a disgusting duo that randoms have just locked in there with a Karma. I was wondering why you'd go for the Olaf if there wasn't anything to back it up. But, well, before I could even get my point out, AOE randoms have read my mind. They pick up the Karma, that shield, and then more importantly, the speed that you provide to Josie on this Olaf is just going to be detrimental and disgusting to deal with from Homeless Prodigies. You have to figure out, how do you kite back? How do you get away from the Olaf? Well, typically, Varus is not the answer. Instead, though, we will see the Varus. Something like the Xayah with a bit of safety could come through, but not super high priority in the meta right now. But love to see Homeless Prodigies picking comfort and picking things that they know they can operate well on, regardless of what randoms select. So we'll see straight back Jaeger 1 on the Varus. I don't think he was the problem in that one at all, other than maybe a couple times mispositioned too far out of lane. Bard is locked in. That is certainly an interesting selection.
The famous Light Pulse Bard being pulled out here for game number 2. Of course, this is a pressure situation here for Homeless Prodigies. These are best of 3s. You do need to win this game, if I'm not mistaken, to stay in the tournament, or at least in the open qualifiers. So gonna go to comfort here in the bottom lane. Big poke potential out of these two champions if you do end up going that Varus. The Morgana, similar with the bindings out of the jungle. So you can already see a bit of a poke siege comp coming into fruition here for Homeless Prodigies, but they are going to be answered by a lot of poke from AOE randoms. Karma Ezreal does a very similar thing. Of course, Karma can still be flexed mid. And one thing about Olaf, yes, he is no longer the terror that he was at the beginning of the season. He has been nerfed several times, as has Gore Drinker. However, it can be very, very powerful into champions like Morgana, like Varus, that rely on a binding or CC of some sort to kite and play the game. So you can just press that R button, you can run on top of them, really make them hate their day, and that could be what we have coming here from Josie. I think that's probably why this is picked into it. Bans coming out here, that's a Lee Sin ban. That is a Zed hover ban, instead going to be Gangplank. It is... There were a little bit of concerns, I think, in my discussion with Pocus earlier today about some of the melee assassin counterpicks that can come out here for the likes of Homeless Prodigy. So I think maybe that's why the focus on Lee Sin, maybe almost the Zed. Instead, they go Gangplank. Nocturne taken away here from Leo. We'll see what the final ban is for Homeless Prodigies. As we do get into phase 2, it'll be Renekton. This is an interesting one. Haven't seen Renekton Olaf in quite some time.
Yeah, the 2v2 up there is sort of altered over the course of a few patches, and they'll still feel the need to ban that one away. Nautilus was hovered, but random's now thinking about the Rakan, a great engage tool. Pocus really incredible on these engaged supports, even when they're not the most tanky, like champions like the Alistar or the Leona. the quick ability to in and out like Rakan, that would be phenomenal to watch. And I'm actually really glad we're going to see it, especially paired with champions like an Ezreal. The safety in that lane is off the roof, and then the engage potential can come through later. Zed, well, if you didn't ban it in phase 2, HP are thinking about picking it in their phase. 10 seconds left to make that decision. Do you want to blind this one? The Karma, of course, still could be going top, so yes is the answer. They will pick the Zed. Now AOE have to think, do they want the Karma mid into the Zed, or do they want to grab something else to avoid what could be an easy rush to delete those shields?
Yeah, that's a bold one, I would say. Blind here, I don't even think it's a great matchup into Karma. Shielding is basically the bane of Zed in the early game before he has Serpent's Fang. The Deathmark relies on damage to execute people. So not necessarily a great matchup until the second item comes out. The Wukong is the final selection here from Homeless Prodigies. You need something to get onto that Ezreal in the backline. Wukong, probably a pretty good answer. The Diana is hovered here from randoms. See if this one is locked in. It is.
Wow.
So the Cape thing's very interesting. We know two things for sure. Ezreal, Rakan, bottom lane. The Olaf, probably going to be the jungler. Probably, like you were saying, a Karma top and a Diana mid. And Diana mid, a favorite of Leo, so he must know about this matchup. He must feel that it is a good one, but it will be interesting. Two melee champions in the early game, of course, a little bit of ranged, wave clear and poke from Diana with the Q. But at level 6, this matchup certainly going to get a little extra spicy if that is where these two champions end up.
Yeah, and the only other iteration that I could think of, well, we'll see it here in a couple of seconds regardless, would be putting the Olaf top, putting the Karma mid and Diana in the jungle. That would be the only other formula that you could come up with that would work. You still need a viable jungler, and well, those two are the only two out of the three that would fit the bill. Unless you want to send Diana top into the Wukong. Of course, you don't have to worry about the armor passive that way, but Diana top just doesn't make too much sense to me, to be honest with you, DJ. But let's see what AOE randoms have in store as we get into client selected. Now is locked in to be the Karma. Diana will be headed straight into mid, and now this mid matchup has to draw the jungler's attention. This 2v2, and let alone the junglers, the 1v1 is so volatile.
Yep, the 1v1 is going to be very volatile. The 2v2 is going to be very volatile. I mean, we could very much see a mirror image of what we saw in the early game for game number 1, where we had 6 kills in 5 minutes, 3 deaths on Leo. Like this can be very, very, very spicy with two melee champions there. Two pretty fast clearing junglers. I do think, again, Perry should have the clear speed advantage here on this Morgana. We'll see how Josie does adapt to that. I do think skirmishing in the 2v2 is actually a little tricky for AoE randoms until level 6. If you do walk into lane as Olaf, if you do get bound up by Perry, it becomes very, very hard to do anything. You're not going to be able to reset your axes. You're not going to be able to chase people down. Yes, it can be a little tricky to land the binding through minions, but I do think it complicates the 2v2 that normally I would give pretty full priority over to. I think at level 6, they win pretty hard, the Olaf Diana, but I think pre-6 there are angles for Perry and Melo to outplay this one. So I'll have to see how that goes. But I think, like you were saying, this has got to be where our eyes are. There's an Ezreal in bottom lane with a Rakan. They do not want to do anything. That Rakan, Pocus, once again, he's headed mid lane like he was all last game. Bard, same way here on what's likely to be a poke Varus for Jaeger. Top lane has a Karma. That's going to be a neutralized matchup unless there are some serious errors going on or serious efforts to dive. So I think all the attention here has to be right back on the member that we talked about. It's got to be on Josie. It's got to be on Melo and Perry. They're going to be the ones that are defining this early game.
Yeah, and I think as a secondary condition to that, you need to be able to communicate with Light Pulse and Pockets to call roams to make sure that you're not going to get roamed on by a Bard, especially post 6 with the Tempered Fate from long distance. If, again, pre-6, you don't have the ability to escape that Tempered Fate from Josie, you could just get Tempered Fate into Bound, into Dead. There's not too much counterplay there. For the others, though, I think just straight up in the 2v2, unless you get hit by a binding, you're you're okay. Like, there's not much kill threat from a Morgana too early. Messel has to do a lot of the heavy weight and the heavy lifting in the 2v2. So if he gets even relatively set behind, it's going to be rough for Homeless Prodigies to try to contest crabs, and try to contest the river vision. AOE randoms, though, they don't have too much outside of that. You have, again, a scaling bot side, a scaling top side that are going to get shoved in. So it seems a little bit scary almost for Josie to try to walk in, but at the same time, his mid lane has some Prodigies. So it's just a 50-50. Do you want to go for these odd skirmishes where your mid laner can roam, but top lane is stuck? It's going to have to be calculations here done by Pockus in the shot calling, or this one could get very, very bloody early on once again.
Yeah, I think I will have my eyes on, where a lot of priority does come. Yes, I think TG Porsche should have some prio, but you can earn prio, on a Karma with range if you can poke out your enemy in lane. So there are options certainly for Chim and Josie. The mid lane definitely a little harder to predict with two melee champions, but we'll just have to keep an eye. Like I said, Perry is going to have a clear speed advantage. Josie dealt with it great in game number 1. He wasn't behind in CS. He was able to, keep even while making plays around the map, while murdering multiple members of Homeless Prodigies. So I would expect that he'll have a similar plan, whether it's skipping certain camps or whatnot, the pathing that he needs to keep up with Perry, get his scuttles, and get to that critical level 6 mark. Because, in this composition, outside of Leo's Diana, he really does have to be a decent portion of the damage when you draft Ezreal Karma. So again, big eyes on Josie, a lot of responsibility on Josie, but he's already shown that he can handle it.
I mean, of course, after a performance like that with a 25 stack Magi's at the end of the game, what more could you ask for from the AOE jungler? But we are just about ready for game 2. AOE randoms looking to seal the deal here with another convincing win. Homeless Prodigies have to get something different. They have to get more right critically come this game when we're ready to up onto the Rift in just about 60 seconds. Don't go anywhere.
To hold our heads up high and beat the drum to what we love. Risk the fall, or we have felt it all come crashing down from far above. Stars are rising, countless worlds colliding. Only one will take it all. Can we bring to fall the giants? Can we make the final call? We are the ones to ignite the darkened skies, the champions of a world that we defy. A soul ray of the few who rise up high, and we all fight at the last strike. Hearing voices from
Hello, everyone, and welcome back. Homeless Prodigies looking to secure their win against AOE randoms who really just hit them with the book last game, or rather with their wallets, with a demanding 10k gold lead to end that one out before the last fight. And the draft here has been concluded. You can see what we saw just a few minutes ago, but a couple things look a little bit interesting to my eyes. A Conqueror Zed, Hail of Blades still for Jaeger, definitely still could be going poke, and a Ghost Josie on the Olaf.
Yeah, the ghost there is a bit surprising to me again against a Morgana. and a Varus in the early game, but you do, again, have the Ragnarok at level 6, and you just turn off that CC and run straight into them. So I can see the Ghost coming in here from Josie. That makes sense to me. And the Conquerors, I don't think it's that surprising. A little bit hard, I think, to chunk out Diana, that early into the game. You're probably not going to need all of that damage to take her down anyway if you do get a full combo out. And it can stack up very, very quickly if you do get all of your combos out. I do expect Melo thinks he's probably going to have to be sidelaying against one of these members later in the game, whether that is Diana or that is Josie. So I don't think it's that out of left field here, and should be just fine on that champion.
Yeah, I mean, it is an option. It's just the idea that this is completely built around mid lane makes it scary, right? You're investing in sort of a later team fight, more skirmish heavy approach instead of just going for these quick in and out trades. But regardless, Meslo seems to be doing just fine. We'll keep an eye though on how that keystone does play out. Jungler pathing is basically normal. Josie's going to cut across mid lane now, trying to head on over, but this, well, bot side jungle has been cleared out, so Perry is gonna have to figure out where he wants to go, as this could get a little bit spicy in the bot lane as well. Jaeger's just getting 2v2'd, forced to flash and heal away. Pockets and Short Hop do not relent in the 2v2.
Yeah, Pockets and Short Hop are knowing exactly how to play that one. They take level 2 first. A little bit disrespectful for Jaeger, and Light Pulse over-indexing on the chase onto Pocus at level 1. And yeah, they are largely punished for it. No summoners now onto Jaeger. That is very tricky to deal with. Flash is in here for Perry as he comes through the portal. Will just be flash for flash. There's no mana on Short Hop, so Pocus, yeah, you just gonna have to let that one go, as the Biscuit is chugged by the Ezreal. So some action in bottom lane. They get the flash off of Short Hop pre-level 3. No, the Arcane Shift, very high cooldown here at level 2. But, a flashless Ezreal still does have a dash, will still be tricky to gank, and very much in the ascendancy in this bot lane early on.
Yeah, Pockets looking for a 2v2 once again, bound under the turret. That turret shot will kill him. First blood for HP's bot lane. Light Pulse to grab it.
That's a little unlucky there for Pocus, but beautiful stuff from Light Pulse as he times the binding perfectly, gets the benefit of that turret shot, and there's not a lot of HP on a low-level Rakan, so Pocus is punished, and now the entire story of this bottom lane gets turned around, and Josie's in some trouble as they're trying to invade him. Pocus comes back, Guardian's in, but Melo's got the first roam. They have to back off.
Yeah, this is really just so well
TP
played from Homeless
TP
Prodigies. TP's now going to come in as well. You're absolutely right, DJ. The fight's going to continue to break out. Meslo already so low. There's the Black Shield on him, but the Ignite does not care about it. Josie and Pocket still stepping forward. One under Token X. The binding does it, though. The emote's up, but for what reason?
Yeah,
Perry, you have no flash. You are dead to rights. The assist going to be handed over, but the kill to Short Hop. Jaeger is in trouble as well. He has no sums, and Chim will grab it. Everyone arrived, and AOE randoms take a dub.
Yes, they do, and that is, again, just lacking summoners, right? You get the kill onto Pocus, but there's no there's no death timers at this point of the game. We're 4 minutes in here, Necroc, so Pocus is back onto the map before you can, before you can practically blink. He goes into the jungle to help there, and yes, while Melo can come down first, Chim just expends the TP, right? He doesn't mind if he loses out. It even looks like Porsche had already TP'd back into lane, so they were at that disadvantage from the beginning, and it doesn't matter if he sacks a full wave. It's going to set up Porsche to be a potential carry, but you don't mind if you're behind CS on this Karma. Like, what's Porsche going to do to you here? It's going to do some damage. You're going to kite out. You're going to walk away. You're just fine to push this lane out, at the very least until level 6. So the extra members show up once again for AOE randoms, and despite the early death for Pocus, they turn it all around inside their jungle. And once again, Josie is going to be set up for success with how far behind Perry has fallen. Look at this. Morgana, the faster clearing jungler, down nearly 4 camps. And now Josie walking into top lane.
And I love this from AOE. They just don't stop when they have an advantage. They continue to apply the pressure. 2v2 now going to be here, though, as Perry was ready, at least in some sort of fashion. Still sticking around, by the way, so this might be a little bit over aggressive. Meanwhile, bot lane 1v1 gonna go forward. Short Hop needs to be a little bit careful about this one. Has to land every single skill shot if he wants to win, and of course he does. Short Hop does not miss. Now on the top side, the top lane's gonna break out now, but Josie's gonna go low, he's gonna go down. Chim's trying to run away from the play as Light Pulse had roamed up 1-for-1 across the map.
Yeah, that may be a little disrespectful there from AOE Randoms. I'm sure the comms were in that Light Pulse had not returned to lane. Josie sticks around a little too long. I think he just wanted to help Chim shove in because Chim was running a little low on mana and wanted to shove back. Meanwhile, level 6 in mid lane, Leo goes in, he doesn't get the kill. Light Pulse is here, so's Pocus.
Everyone still here. The only one that's not is Josie, who is frantically sprinting to get here in time. No kills to be found. Flash away from Meslo. So 5-minute cooldown. Now off of the board. Homeless Prodigies don't want to give away too many objectives here. That's why they're trying as hard as they can to scrounge up as much vision, but they're going to have to give this one up. AOE Randoms had done enough. They will secure themselves first dragon at 7 minutes.
Yep, they have all of the prio here from their bottom lane, largely earned. Oh my god, Melo, I think you're dead!
What is that? A solo kill in mid. Last time around, it was Meslo getting number 1. This time, it's Leo getting the best of his opponent. Not a starter on the roster, but certainly making a good argument as to why. AOE Randoms mid has just gone crazy, and the Diana across roles has done work.
Yeah, this game already looking really good for AOE Randoms. I give a lot of credit to Homeless Prodigies for what they have attempted to do in this early game, sending Light Pulse all across the map, trying to be active, burning Flash in bot lane for Short Hop. But still, that play at level 1, where level 2 comes in, echoes across this map, Necrox. The solo kill that happened in bot lane is purely because Short Hop was timing that Varus's heal, knowing he had the extra summoner to take him down. That leads to the prio for the Drake. That leads to the prio for literally everything. And while Light Pulse has been out of lane, they've just been farming up. Now TC's in trouble. Josie's unstoppable, but everyone's here from Homeless Prodigies. I think they gotta run.
Oh, that binding from Light Pulse was just incredible. Over the wall goes the Zed, and Chim is dead as well. Homeless Prodigy strike right back. They get 2-0, and they're going to grab themselves Rift Herald as a prize.
That's a huge play for Homeless Prodigies. And again, Josie, not recognizing that multiple members can show up. Light Pulse has ditched the bottom lane again here, leaving Jaeger behind to help out his top side around the Rift Herald. I think they thought maybe Leo could come over. Pocus was hanging around mid lane, but now they're trying to set up on the other side of the map. It's 3 men to 2 in bottom lane as the wave is pushed in, but it's a little bit light. I don't think they can do this.
Level 4 only for Pocus, so needs to be very wary about taking too much of this turret damage, shoving in as fast as possible. But Leo going back to mid, doesn't want to commit to the dive. It was an attempt, a good thought, but there just wasn't enough. Now top side, maybe the dive time for Homeless Prodigies. Perry is here with the Rift Herald, taking a little bit of turret damage on the way away. Binding is saved by a minion. His bot lane Jaeger tries to throw out that ulti. That will miss as well. As a blink over the wall came from Short Hop. Perry drops this Rift Herald in top, charged in. That will destroy the turret, and now Chim is on the run. A binding will land, and Chim has no flash. Tried to make it 1-for-1, but just wasn't enough. Meanwhile, bot side, Josie was on the chase into Light Pulse. Somehow, he's going to drop as well. Josie is now 1-2. Has gotten his first kill of the match. Short Hop hopping forward. Leo will get the 80 carry, and the bot lane is wiped away. 2-for-1. AOE take another win.
Yeah, this becomes a split map situation very, very quickly, but I honestly don't think this is a good play for AOE. I think they're getting out macroed a little bit here as the Rift Herald is popped top lane. They almost get 2 turrets for the price of just those 2 kills. There are still plates up in bottom lane. Like, you can't take that turret, so you just lose a huge point of pressure in topside as Porsche and Perry push that in. And yes, you get 2 kills, but the gold very much going to come out in the favor of Homeless Prodigies.
Yeah, the gold probably going to come out in their favor. It's just all this calculation is all messed up now because Chim is the one behind, but I don't think they care about Chim being behind, but they do certainly care about Porsche being ahead. That is a problem. If this Wukong can get on to Short Hop and can disrupt Josie from doing what he needs to do, then that becomes an issue for AOE randoms. But Chim's saying, you know, it's okay, I'm behind, that's all right. I'm not meant to carry a lot of this gold in the composition that we've built. AOE playing on fine margins for sure. Still at a definite deficit though for the time being. 50 seconds on Dragon will only be the second, so AOE could give this one up if necessary, but Pak is already doing the field work, getting that vision down. So many deep wards, and there's a couple flank wards that need to be cleared out. Light Pulse now headed that way.
Yeah, a couple of words do need to be cleared out. It will be interesting to see what the back is here from Leo. There's already an Eclipse on Mela, so if Leo doesn't have his mythic item, I do think, okay, he does finish Night Harvester. Essence Reaver also comes in for Short Hops. These are two critical buys for AOE randoms, and now I feel you can fully contest for this Drake. It's probably even in your favor, although we do see Triforce and Leandries picked up on the other side. So do you think both have a lot going for them in a potential team fight around this Drake, but it is Homeless Prodigies getting the positioning. It looks like AOE might not be interested. They're hovering, and it's a little late though.
I think they might be interested indeed. Josie's already down the half though. There's the magical journey away. It's going to be secured by Perry. He's the one to land the smite. Jaeger's going to go down. No flash.
Get the healing.
Even away. Double kill for Josie. Look at the damage pouring across the team. Josie somehow still alive. And AOE will lose their jungler. But they have already claimed 3. Now the chase is on. A nice tempered fate to buy a little bit more time from Light Pulse. But they're not giving it up just quite yet. Short Hop hopping forward. There's one more magical journey away. But how magical was it? Your mid laner is stuck. The Guardian to keep him alive. AOE will pull themselves away, lose the dragon, but win the fight.
Yeah, and kind of similar to the play we just had, you know, Homeless Prodigy is going to be very happy they're able to take that Drake away, but they do lose out on the greater fight. It looked like Randoms was going to be a little bit too late to that one. I mean, Josie got absolutely chunked, walking, then sprinting with the Ragnarok into the Drake pit. He nearly went down 3 times before the death mark finally took him down on the backside of the fight through all of the healing coming through from his runes, from his item, from karma shielding. But they did manage to get him at the price of 2. Still will be an extra 5 minutes on any sort of soul for AOE randoms. And I think you can call that worth if you are Homeless Prodigies.
Certainly call it worth stopping. A set amount of dragons will always be good news. This might be bad news from Short Hop as everyone through the journey.
What a sidestep.
Nice sidestep, but it just wasn't enough. Everyone was there. A 4-man, excuse me, just a 3-man effort. I thought that everyone had come down other than Meslo, but he was not needed for the play. Short Hop simply can do nothing about it. Had to have better vision control. And now the siege is on. Porsche and Perry both here looking to secure this turret. Can they push any more forward though? The answer is no. Josie is here and time will clear this one away. So just a kill for kill's sake.
Yep, will just be a kill. I do like it though. The wave was pushed in topside again. That point of pressure. Perry can't get rooted up. Shield's there. Will this be a full engage? Shirelia's popped. There are more members for Homeless Prodigies here. Ezreal's hustling up mid lane, but I think this is tricky.
We're going in. Perry's already going to go down, but so is Pockets. It's a 1-for-1 so far, but Josie has the shield. Look at the flash over the wall from Leo. He gets everyone in it. Double kill already to Josie, and Porsche is not long for the world. Meslo's going to drop as well. One more root, one more auto from Short Hop, and the shutdown goes his way. 4-1, 2-0, and 5-3. The core of AOE randoms has everything you need in a star lineup team. Homeless Prodigies simply get destroyed. And now the turret will drop as well. Short Hop thinking about going for one more, but will not push any more forward. AOE randoms come up big.
Okay, yeah, maybe just ban Diana from AOE randoms. I don't know. It seems way too useful for them, Necrox, as Leo comes in late to that fight and absolutely ends it with a beautiful ulti onto 3 members, gets 2 flashes instantly, and still is able to clean up multiple kills. AOE blows it open. They're now up to a 2.5k gold lead with mid turret destroyed. That was absolutely beautiful chase down from them. And yeah, it looked a little tricky at the start with the extra man and Light Pulse arriving first, but they are able to stay alive long enough that the reinforcements in Leo and Short Hop arrive, and they clean house on Homeless Prodigies.
And in the Cup Summer Split Open qualifiers, AOE randoms have just exploded out onto the scene now. Homeless Prodigies have to figure out, how do they get back into this game? Where is their angle?
I mean, if you're looking for angles here, it still has to be Porsche. He has to find a big ulti onto this backline, but that can just be so tricky. It's an Ezreal with a Rakan next to him. There's a Shirelia's on this Karma. A lot of shielding going to come out there, and while you're on the backline, you got to keep everyone else alive. There's a couple members that can follow up with you, but not everyone. Jaeger's likely going to be left behind as Zed and Wukong go into the backline along with potentially Light Pulse. So I think it's really tricky here, Necrox. Zed is another one of these champions that can be very effective in mid-game fights, but just going to get trickier for him to operate the longer the game goes on. Even a Serpent's Fang, I don't think is going to bail him out. And now he's already used the W. Yeah, he has to flash. He still might get run down.
Okay, they barely decide to stop. There's pure speed, man, from Chim and Josie. They pop the Ghost, they pop the Shirelias. Every bit of MS in the game feels like it belongs to them. And Leo trying, maybe.
What?
Oh, the counter engage is in. There's the Moonfall.
What?
That was not well advised, or was it? No, it wasn't. That was very close, though. Thought that one wouldn't be so even, but regardless, Josie will secure Dragon. But topside was the trade. Homeless Prodigies knocking down tier 2 and will crash this wave close to inhibitor turret on the top side. AOE randoms giving away a lot of their map pressure in order to secure these objectives.
Yep, 2 Drakes in expense of that tier 2 turret, but they seem happy to let Porsche continue to split push. They don't seem convinced that he's a win condition for this enemy side in Homeless Prodigies. They think that Chim just going to be able to hold it off, has the Summoner Spellbook, multiple things that he can use, getting that TP back up a little bit quicker, and we'll just be able to continue to clear waves, but we will have to keep an eye on it because having 2 turrets down in any lane will always be a point of pressure if your TP is available. Yes, this is not a traditional sort of tower-taking split pusher like a Fiora, like a Camille. It does have the Trinity Force as well, but it can be a big threat here with how strong Porsche is. Nearly on 2 items. 146 CS is pretty solid as well. He really is going to be the main threat for Prodigies because Jaeger, he's 0-5-3. He's really far behind. 40 CS. He's just not been allowed to play the game because Light Pulse has been splitting with the rest of the team. Melo's 2-3-0. He's got the Serpent's Fang now, but you already saw him lose a 1v1 to Leo. I don't think it's going to get any better for him now that the Secret Arm Guard is completed. And oh boy, he's going into 2 members. I mean, yeah, you have Shield Break. Is that enough?
Yeah, I don't know. Everyone's here as well. He tries to escape back to the clone over the wall, but not anywhere close. Looking for one, but just barely misses out. It was a good effort trying for the 1v1, but it just never was there. Good God, look at the damage from Leo. There's the binding from the ulti from Jaeger. So much damage. The Halo Blades coming in big time. The slow from Light Pulse ignites, ticking, and Leo will drop. One more auto from Light Pulse will claim the shutdown away from Leo 99.
They're getting sort of collapsed, and you can see they're running towards the bottom side of the map where Porsche's already pushed in the lane. He's taken the tier 1 turret in bot lane. He's working on tier 2. He's probably going to get it here, but I think we're going to have a big fight in a couple of seconds because Perry's hanging around in the jungle. The rest of the team is coming. They better head to the hills. TC Porsche has no mana.
He's completely Perry doesn't have too much. We'll get a little bit back from this Grom, so has enough for a few more spells. Slow his way. But Josie and Pakas are cutting off the escape route. But another one created by the magical journey. But there's going to be the follow through. Josie's going unstoppable. The flash away from Light Pulse to avoid the undertow. But here comes a movement speed. Here comes Short Hop. And he's on a rampage. No more life to live for Light Pulse. He will fall over as another kill goes the way of AOE randoms.
Now they're going to take the scuttle. We'll see if they hop right on Baron. I think you can probably do this, and they will. This is going to force Porsche out of that side laning that he's been trying to do all game. And again, you're so weak here. Your Varus is only on one item with Hail of Blades. Like, I don't think you can win this, even with the Ragnarok down. Everyone's coming in, but watch Leo.
Wait, Leo just used his ulti. That's not what you want to see. He just whiffed everyone. He's going to drop. So is Pokus. That was a bad play, and this is going to be the fight to turn around for Homeless Prodigies. A double kill is already in for the Zed, assassinating the back line. Leo whiffed his ultimate, and that single-handedly lost them the fight. Homeless Prodigies, yes, they extend properly. Hop forward from Short Hop, trying to look for the play of the parry, who is very low. Short Hop might be able to get this one done. 7,000 on the Baron. 2v5 effort. This is incredible. Pockets racing back. Short Hop and Josie, the only ones to try to make this play happen. Light Pulse is low. Porsche is low, but the smite's going to be secured. It's actually Porsche to pick that one up, and an arrow from downtown will find Josie. They simply couldn't do enough. It was miraculous and heroics, but randoms do not have it in them to stop the Baron from going down. Short Hop looking for the kill now in the best slow. Has flash if he needs to. Will not commit for it. And AOE randoms lose out big time, and HP now have their avenue right back into this game.
That was huge from Homeless Prodigies, now up 1.5k gold. And like you said, Nacrox, it all comes from the huge whiff from Leo there. That's what they were counting on in that team fight. They were setting up a trap for the Diana. You win that if you hit multiple members, but absolutely no one gets sucked in, takes any damage, and they just clean up the kills after Baron had softened up AOE random. So now they are all wearing purple here, forcing down mid lane, and this is looking like their potential way back into the game. I do still favor randoms comp the longer this game does go on. But now if you can take down some turrets, okay, hold on, we don't get a chance.
Whoa. Porsche's just deleted everyone from different angles, collapsed on the play. And Porsche will die for the third time on this Wukong. Has a lot of itemization, but has no health left to fight this dragon. He's in the gray screen for the next 20 seconds. That's TP if necessary. Messler goes a little bit too far. The Ignite's going to tick down, and Chim to claim the kill. A couple airs from Homeless Prodigies to repay randoms for their blunder at the Baron. And AOE randoms now are at soul point.
Yeah, and that's kind of where you can kind of see why I'm a little nervous for Homeless Prodigies the later the game goes on. You know, randoms can sort of just force onto the enemy composition. They don't have a lot of ways to dissuade Pokus from coming in. I mean, yeah, you can try to stuff him with a binding, but that's hard to hit on a Rakan. Porsche is really your option for counter engage, but it's still hard to get onto an Ezreal regardless, and Porsche is still only on 2 items here, so many options for randoms in team fights. Short Hop can soften everyone up. Josie can put up the damage. Leo can engage with Pokus. It's just a little bit easier to execute instead of having this assassin in the mid lane that has to find an isolated target. You know, instead of needing a binding to really isolate a member, there's just a lot of conditional requirements that go into the team fighting for Homeless Prodigies, and you can see that borne out as they try to approach that Drake.
2 Shirelias in for Pokus. They do not stack, so they will not be able to grant movement speed at the same time. But I guess that means for AoE, they just want 2 different fights, 2 different times to engage, or maybe just one for a quick pick here and then another for the big 5v5 or 5v4. Regardless, though, lots of health and lots of help for Josie, Leo, and Short Hop to be able to kite themselves around, to get away from these bindings, the shurikens, the Varus arrows that can all come flying in. 3 minutes on that soul. Is Short Hop and Pocket still here? Arcane Shift does not go over the wall as the wave is being contested in mid. Perry now has to retreat back away from this one. Priority to AOE after the Baron from HP. It feels like HP just didn't get enough off of it. They have every side lane advantage you could ask for. They're all the way up into the base, but mid lane still stands strong. Has not even cracked mid tier 1. Leo's gonna face check into Porsche. The vision just wasn't strong enough. We'll be able to walk away along with Perry. Close call in the jungle. Everyone finds themselves out. Straight back to contesting mid.
And here we go.
Not long for now since the fight's gonna break out as Josie given that ghost. Look at the damage from the Diana once more. Jaeger able to flash away, going golden under the turret is Perry along with Leo flashing himself out, but Pacus is the first and only one to drop Josie's 1 HP as well. One more tick of damage, wouldn't able to find it, but Perry's 1 HP as well. Short hop going forward. No, the Mystic Shot not able to land, but the binding connects on him. He's gonna fall on over. Leo's gonna fall on over. 3-0 fight, and Homeless Prodigies able to kite themselves out, and now will finally crack down mid.
Yeah, and I'm not wrong when I'm telling you to watch people in these fights. I'm just picking the perfect moment to caster curse them into absolutely running it here, Necrox says twice in a row now. I've highlighted a member with high HP that is expected to carry for this AoE randoms composition, and twice they have face planted. First it was Leo whiffing an ultimate around the Baron. This time it's Short Hop trying to arcane shift to finish off Perry, and arcane shifting straight into the Dark Binding. Literally straight into it. Once you get bound up as that Ezreal, there's no more escape. You are dead. Everyone piles onto Short Hop, takes him down. 3 kills back of the Homeless Prodigies, and the tides swing once again here. Now in a 3.5k gold lead, 4k gold lead for Homeless Prodigies. Still is a tricky game for them to play out here, particularly when the Soul Drake Cloud Soul up in a minute for AoE randoms.
Still a nice lead though for Homeless Prodigies, but it just doesn't feel that way. It doesn't feel like they're operating from a position of strength here. The only time that they've really shown us that they are in control is in the side lanes. Here comes a Shirelius now from Light Pulse as they're trying to track down Pacus. There goes the ulti from Josie as well, trying to get himself away with the Ragnarok at about 50% HP after the death mark expired. So no kill to be found. And good effort from Homeless Prodigies. Everyone needed was there, but they committed enough resources. AoE randoms do to get themselves away. Baron is on the cards. Look at the macro call now. Face checking in, but that true shot barrage gave away everything.
Yeah, Short Hop gonna spot out the trap there, and now it's a bit of desperation here. They need to base heal up and get over to this Drake in 16 seconds, but they're just losing out on mid prio. They're going to push this mid wave in, head back towards the Drake pit, set a bunch of wards as they do, and now good luck approaching this Homeless Prodigies. You can see they don't even want any part of it. The call is to head over to Baron, but they don't have any sort of... They're not going to be able to finish it fast enough. They're going to be slow there. Yes, they have a bars, but this Drake's already dead. They're going to go straight back to Baron and fight this.
Yeah, Shirelli is up at the same time, so no able to move at speed, but they didn't even start it up. This wasn't given away. It's just not quick enough, and now the whole team's arriving. AoE looking for the fight. Low health bars for Homeless Prodigies. A magical journey to keep them away for now. Nice ulti from Pacus on the side, but there's a Cyclone. The spin to win. Josie's going to fall on over. Perry able to get the first kill of the game. Porsche's going golden in the middle of the team. He's going to keep himself alive. A nice Terry TH. Second spin going to come through. Porsche keeping himself alive once more with a nice clone, but Short Hop found the kill. There it is. Porsche will drop. Shutdown going to be given on over to the 80 carry for AoE randoms. Perry going golden once again, but it's just not enough. Ooh. Barely able to escape with the flash into the magical journey. 2 for 2. AoE randoms and Homeless Prodigies going blow for blow. True shot barrage. Barely will not connect, but Short Hop has no fear. He hopped forward once again. A nice binding from Light Pulse will keep him safe, but will not keep himself alive as he will drop to Short Hop once again. AoE randoms push forward and do not stop their fighting. Finally, Chim will fall as Meslo gets one more combo onto the top laner, but he will get himself not out to safety. He will die. Everyone in this fight seems to die twice over. Homeless Prodigies and AoE scrapping it out over Baron.
Harry's setting a trap in this bush. He probably will get one, but is it worth it for your life? You're the jungler. If you die here, the Baron is forfeit.
Oh my gosh, Short Hop dodges out on the arcade shift, but no, it's not enough to win out in the 1v1. Nice dancing shoes from Jaeger. 1-for-1 trade, and without short hop, I'm not sure that AOE have the damage to complete the Baron, even though they did get parry. Wave clear is in for Homeless Prodigies. This game lies on a knife's edge 30 minutes in.
What a chaotic fight there, Necrox, and it ends practically even here still with nearly a 4K gold lead for Homeless Prodigies, more like 3.5 after it all wraps up and nobody can get onto the Baron. But still, if you just kind of skipped over that last 3 minutes, we basically end up in the same situation where AOE randoms come away with the Cloud Soul. And we sort of reset, waiting now for Elder in 3.5 with Baron on the map. The one really good thing for Homeless Prodigies here, as they have stayed in this game, this is an attack speed Varus. So you're going to continue to get stronger and stronger. At one point, Jaeger was 0-5 in this match, like 0-5-3. And as time has gone on, it just doesn't really matter because he just continues to get gold. He's on 3 items, working on 4. And that's a scary place to be as these fights continue to develop if you are AOE random. So keep your eyes on Jaeger in these fights. If he can stay alive and pump out the damage, he's got a great opportunity to just mow down multiple members as the split push, I guess, still a little bit on here from Porsche.
Porsche trying his best to get some side lane advantage, but with the confidence that AOE have and the confidence that one man in particular, Short Hop, has on this Ezreal, I cannot count how many times he has just shifted forward. There it is again, into the threat of the team. It is incredible to watch. There's a stopwatch to avoid out in the ulti. Short Hop maybe paying the price with the life, but another arcane shift comes off cooldown, and Josie's here to survive. Josie's here to win the fight. Jaeger's gonna drop as well. Short Hop free firing from the back line. Porsche has arrived, but he's immediately exhausted. The Cyclone already expended. There's the temper fade, locks up all 3. Short Hop went to the wrong spot. There's a bind. It's gonna get him. Ezreal's already on a triple kill. Now the chase is on. Chim is on the run, and so is Pockets. AOE randoms able to survive, but at what cost? They're losing everything. They're losing every member. Pockets will eventually go for a recall here. He's sitting in the jungle, but down mid, Homeless Prodigies may just be on a victory march.
He's going to cut this wave here, I think, is what Pockets might try to do. No, he is just going to recall now. 4 members strong here for Homeless Prodigies. Just Chim here to try to clear this wave. Can he do it? They need 10 seconds on these members.
10 seconds left on Josie. 8 now on the clock. Chim's gonna go golden once more. Pockets has arrived with a nice recall. Light Pulse is gonna die. There's the Nexus turret. It's not gonna fall over. Double kill for Pockets. The support has come to play the game, and parry will drop as well. There's a take back from Eslo as he goes back to his clone. Deathmark again once more, but just for nothing. Short Hop will grab the shutdown, and AOE randoms will hold their Nexus at 33 minutes.
So close as Homeless Prodigies, but it's not quite enough. They're going to give up the Baron here. The Elder Drake in 1:03. Everyone will be up for it, but they're going to have to run over there through what's likely to be a lot of control from AOE randoms. They will take this purple worm. They're going to need to get back to base to push out that bottom wave, and then we will likely have a decisive fight around this Elder Drake.
AOE randoms, Cloud Soul, Baron, but a base in shambles. Nexus turret number 2 at about 5% HP, if even that. One auto from anyone could make this an open Nexus game. Ward is in the base, by the way. Porsche has TP available. I believe the Ward just sitting behind middle inhibitor that is dropped. So supers, if they get into the base, that could be a win condition. So keep your eyes in the back door. Nice shoe shot barrage. We'll take Jaeger down low.
Ward's gone.
Ward is indeed expired. So no backdoor attempt available, at least for now. AOE random still looking to approach this Elder that is available and on the board. No one yet to start this one up. Fight could break out and decide this game any second.
This is going to be so tight here, Necrox. Everyone really going to have access to almost everything they want. The only significant cooldowns that are down. Light Pulse will not have flash. Jaeger does not have flash. Still a quarter of that cooldown remaining. Everything available except for Chim's flash here for AOE randoms. As they start up this Elder Drake, they're trying to force with Leo on the flank.
Leo's on the flank, binding from Perry goes wide. Elder's about half HP. There's the ulti onto Leo. There's the Cyclone as well. He's going to go golden to avoid the damage on the death mark. Pockets is going to be shut down immediately. He gets nothing in the fight. The charm just doesn't connect on anyone. Leo's down. Pockets is down now. AOE are on the run. It's Homeless Prodigies trying to chase forward, but the Guardian Angel will keep them alive for now. Porsche, even if he goes down, it's going to be secured by Perry. He's got the Elder Dragon, and Josie's going to fall over. Chim and Short Hop left to do it all against 5. AOE just couldn't win the team fight, and with a base open, Homeless Prodigies will run it straight down mid and take the series 1-1.
I think it's all over, Necrox. Porsche gonna teleport in with the Elder Drake available. There's nothing they can do. His ulti almost off of cooldown, as well as supers pour in. Short Hop was so close to killing multiple members of Homeless Prodigies, but he just couldn't get the killer blow, and Leo was completely stuck on the engage. In goes the Zed. It's not enough. Zonia's is going to come out to deter that.
What?
They are clearing the wave really, really nicely here. Bush is taking a ton of damage. Focus back up. This is scary now. TP not available for Chim, but they have just staved off the Elder push. This is insane, Necrox. What is this game at 36 minutes?
Those were 30-second death timers with one Nexus turret at 1 HP. How did Homeless Prodigies not manage to end the game? And
Perry's
now the re-engage
25%.
might be enough.
Perry's
Flash
dead.
forward, and they've got the jungler. That's 1 for nothing. Pacus finds his angle and takes down Perry. I thought the game was over, DJ. I swear to you, this game, we should be in post right now. But instead, it's AOE randoms that will take their squad down the middle lane. Chim will push out top, buy a little bit more time. 35 seconds left on the jungler for Homeless Prodigies. AOE randoms looking to secure every bit of gold they can. Every little bit matters at this point. 37 minutes in, and AOE stay alive.
They do somehow stay alive, and their Nexus turret is still up. Going in here is Melo, but it's only onto a support.
Not enough damage. Able to find the kill onto Pacus. Keeps himself safe. We'll have to recall, though. No objectives on. It's just a battle for wave control, as everyone from AOE will take their recalls and their bases to get back to hold this siege.
Yeah, perfectly fine. They've got a ward in the enemy jungle on bottom side. Their inhibitor mid lane just respawned. They do have a lot of vision to clear out around the Baron that is spawning in 2 minutes here in their top side jungle, but there really shouldn't be a contest over it. There's nothing on the map that can really win you the game at this point, and I doubt anyone really going to stray far enough away to get picked off. There is a trap being set up. Do they know they're on a ward?
I don't think so, or else they wouldn't be sitting there. That's a lot of time wasted, a lot of wave control that could have gone their way that will now be lost into the abyss of Summoner's Rift. A completed Zonia's is now in for Short Hop. Could win him this fight, but Jaeger is just going to drop immediately. And this was a swarmed effort. There's just no way away. Melo is so low, but barely flashing away, keeping himself alive. Jaeger was just too far forward, and AOE random saw their chance and take it immediately a little bit too far forward, trying to flash, trying to heal, just spamming his buttons, but not able to get out. Short Hop hopping forward once again with the arcane shift, 1 for nothing. They got Josie on the back end, which makes it 1-0 or 1-1, excuse me. Homeless Prodigies barely able to keep themselves on a foot here as AOE, man. They are not letting off the gas, but Homeless Prodigies able to fight back.
Dude, I swear, Perry and Light Pulse have been so huge in these skirmishes. I mean, barely staying alive. Fancy feet to dodge out on all of these Mystic shots. I feel like Short Hop should have like 8 more kills in this game. If I went back and watched the VOD, I think I would be shocked that he's not like 18-4 right now, because so many members have slipped out with 1 HP, which is typically what Ezreal is great at cleaning up in extended team fights. But everyone here on Homeless Prodigies is making Herculean efforts to stay alive with blinking health bars, and they're going to have a shot here to wander back into this Baron area, clear out the vision, and give another huge fight around a major objective.
5 seconds, now 1 second, and it's available. Baron is on the Rift once again. 90 seconds until Elder spawns. So this is the only objective that these two teams have to fight over, and they're willing to lay down their lives to grab this Baron. Hop forward again from short hop. Takes about a chunk away from Mellow. Porsche now on the run as well. Damage being traded back and forth in the mid lane, but only just poke for now. Homeless Prodigies have to clear out this wave from AOE that was shoved in, and AOE are setting up a trap.
Oh my god, okay. We're going to have to heal up there. That might just be the trigger for the Baron. They do need to be careful here, AOE. They might just push down mid. Yes, Mellow's low, but you do have the option of just trying to force it. Instead, they're going to force onto the Baron. There's the Tempered Fate.
Tempered Fate on the Baron, buying a little bit more time, but the call is to contest. It's already so low. It's going to be secured by Josie. Now Homeless Prodigies have to run. They didn't want to fight. They didn't want to commit into the darkness. They didn't have any vision, and now the Baron recalls are just too quick. I believe that Homeless Prodigies just hesitated for a half second. One missed decision, and they lose out on Baron at 40 minutes, but they're the ones in control of Elder. Josie's gonna walk into darkness here. The binding doesn't connect. They whip everything. They just whiffed everything, and Josie with hot feet will dodge out and keep himself safe. The trap was the call. Sure, you can go for Elder, but we're going straight for the base. AOE 5-man strong with a push down the mid lane. Chim is slowed up for now, but the wave is here with the the Baron empowered siege. 5-man strong on inhibitor turret. Already gone. Inhibitor is defeated. Baron. Elder is being attempted, but why are you on the Elder when they're on your base? Elder secure. Now's your time for the fight. Nexus turret will be tempered fated. It's golden. It's a 2-for-0 fight so far. Exhaust on the push, but that's only the clone. It's not the right member. Guardian Angel being popped, but the Nexus is low, and it will fall. AOE will take their win in the nick of time. Homeless Prodigies tried, but to no success. AOE 2-0.
What was that game, Necrox? I can't believe it. A 42-minute absolute slobber knocker here between these two teams, and it all ends with just, I'll be honest, like, I hate to say it, but some of the worst shot calling and macro I've ever seen in a GM plus game. Like, I don't know what happened there for Homeless Prodigies, but they just folded under the pressure provided by AOE Random so hard. First indecision around the Baron. Are you going to go for it? Are you going to push down mid? Then they try to set up a trap around Elder, which Josie reads like a children's book, gets all of their abilities out. There's no indecision on AOE, so maybe all of the shot calling that comes from Pocus is like such a key here, because they go straight down mid. They know what to do. They don't care about Elder. They're just winning the game, and they give them the game by going for Elder. Like, that was an insane sequence.
I mean, we get caught up in these fights and caught up in the moments about, the decision making here and there. But if you look back at the VOD, you had one decision to make: fight at Baron or lose the game. There was no alternative solution. You have to hold your base at 40 minutes against a 5-man effort. You just can't do it. There's not enough time between Elder and Baron spawning, or rather not a little section of time enough. I mean, the Elder's going to be way too late, and AOE obviously knew that. And, well, I mean, Pocus made the right call, and AOE take the win after what was an incredible game from AOE to see, and from a team that's relatively new that just shows up and has to make those split-second decisions. You love to see the confidence in their gameplay. Short hop time and time again, putting his life on the line, even in the position that he was. Just phenomenal stuff to watch, and I can't overstate how excited I am to see where this team can go. And where they're going is one more series against the winner of EG Prodigies match.
Yeah, we'll be the winner of EGP and Chili Mountain Chipmunks. Great name, by the way. Good stuff over there, Chili Mountain. I do very much appreciate whoever came up with that one. So solid stuff. Give yourself a pat on the back. We'll see who did come away with that series. But yeah, I mean, this series was pretty insane. A super convincing stomp in game one with a great draft from AOE. They go for something a little different in game two. Definitely had their hiccups multiple times. They were down 4K gold. I think some of the fights, when you look back at those VODs, can be played out a lot better. And really, definitely some good stuff from Homeless Prodigies here. I think dodging out, like I mentioned, on a lot of skill shots from short hop throughout these fights, really playing on a knife's edge, and looked like they had the game in their hands at multiple times, but unfortunately some very poor decision making at the end of the game, maybe the characteristic of a team that has not played together a lot like this AOE random squad already has, and just does come back to bite them. They will fall 2-0 and they will fall out of OQ #1 here in Cup.
Indeed, they will. It is a sad goodbye we have to wave, but smiles all throughout the AOE organization as AOE randoms will move forward to the round of 16 against the winner of CMC versus EGP. We'll be right back with that series when we get there, but until then, please enjoy some interviews provided none other than Cubby with all of your AOE roster.
Hello everyone, Matt Cubby Samuelson, and joining me for this sit down is going to be the jungler for AOE randoms, and that is Zach Josie Joslin. And Josie, I want to get right into talking about your team. You've played in some amateur events and throughout the circuit on UPL, but now you got to take that team and go into the Proving Grounds qualifiers. What are your expectations and thoughts as you move into that level of competition?
I mean, I think we're feeling really confident in our roster right now. I think we all fit really well together. We're all great players, and we all trust each other. So I think we'll make it pretty far in Proving Grounds.
Obviously going to be the goal to get to that top level of competition. But I know this isn't your first rodeo in amateur and that level of competition. Previous experience being life support paired up with Captain Shrimps, notably. And I'm kind of curious with that past experience, what are some of the things that you've learned in past teams you feel like you can bring to the table in this one?
I mean, I've played with really great players other than Captain Shrimps. I think they've taught me a thing or two along the road. I feel like I've meshed really well with my team, and I think we are going to play really great together.
Yeah, and I know that your team is one that has been a highlight in UPL, but also for you, you know, as a player individually, I'm kind of curious, do you have any junglers that you're really looking forward to going up against, or any champion picks that you're looking forward to bring to that big amateur stage that you might have in your back pocket?
As far as champion picks go, I think Lee Sin is up there for sure. Now that it's started to like shift into the meta, so that's good. As far as jungle, I'm not really worried about anyone, to be honest. Everybody's human, so everyone can make mistakes.
Yeah, that's definitely something that you're going to be looking to exploit as you go up against the teams in Proving Grounds. I know that for your squad competing in UPL, what do you think it means for you and the rest of the team, the fact that you've already been competing together as a roster for a few months as you go into the OQs this upcoming week and are going up against teams that may have only had a week or two of scrims under their belt?
Yeah, I mean, I think we've scrimmed for maybe less than that, but I think we're feeling pretty confident, honestly. We all trust each other, and we're all really till proof. So even if we're down 0-2 in that best of 3 or best of 5, sorry, I think we can always come back.
Yeah, that's really good to hear. And Josie, I'm just kind of curious, before I let you go, any thank yous or shout outs you want to give out?
Let's say shout out to my teammates for being the homies.
For being the homies, as Josie, the jungler of AOE randoms. I think our goal is to make sure that your 5 names are not random by the end of the split in Proving Grounds. And really excited to see you and the rest of the squad compete and see if you can put your best foot forward, and hope to be seeing a lot of you throughout the split.
All right, thank you very much.
Hey everyone, Matt Cubby Samuelson here, and joining me for this chit chat, it's going to be the mid laner for AOE randoms, Michael Competition 9 Stancato. And Comp 9, I want to talk to you real quick about how you ended up on this roster and what your expectations are for this split of Proving Grounds.
Okay, so how I ended up on this roster, actually, last year when this team was called just randoms, I was a sub for them, because Captain Shrimps was their starting mid laner. So I've been around these guys for a while, almost a year now, right? So, but now that Shrimps is playing amateur for Cloud9, they needed a mid laner, so I was chosen, obviously. And my expectations for the team. I think we're all really good. I think we're all really good, especially like as a team together. I like playing with all these guys. I think everyone likes playing with each other. We're all friends, and I think we can go pretty far, like top 4 for sure. I think we're really good. Like I'm not gonna undersell us. I think we're just really good. I
Yeah.
think we're gonna go far, great, big heights to reach.
Well, hey, love to see the internal promotion there for you from sub to main roster, and looking forward to see if you guys can go as far as you think. As I know that the competition is going to be pretty stiff for this split of Proving Grounds, and it's one of your first splits in Proving Grounds. As an individual, are there any goals that you have or any people that you really want to go up against in the mid lane in this landscape of Proving Grounds?
Darkwings for sure. That guy
was
is
cool.
like, to me, like he's like the final boss of like mid lane and amateur right now, because oh my, like even like in houses last year, like in preseason, like playing in like the pro player challenger in houses, I could not win versus this guy. So I'm hoping that I've gotten a lot better over the past few months and I'm able to finally match up against him. I think he's really good. He's always someone I've looked up to through in solo queue and just amateur in general. He's really good. So he's the main one for sure.
Yeah, of course, Darkwings being the mid laner for AOE's other roster as well. And kind of another question focused around you. Obviously, you've been around these teammates quite a bit, but I know that going through some of your match histories, you really like to go towards more of the assassin picks in solo queue. Is there any pick in particular that you're looking to pull out on stage, or something that you think that is kind of a specialty for you that you want to show can work in the pro scene as well?
It'd probably be Zed. I think Zed is very strong right now, and teams are just like afraid of playing him. I think he's actually very strong in the current meta, especially when like these like shield champs are very popular, Seraphine, Karma especially, and like he's just very good into all these like squishy team comps people are drafting, especially now that tank junglers are less common. I think he's a lot more playable now than he was before, and especially since there are a lot of AP junglers being played, then having an AD mid is just really good to have. And I think Zed's just really good.
Yeah,
He's a champ right now.
we've seen Chaz play to some success at MSI for sure, and I see that we have another student of LS's tier list possibly on our hands, as Zed's been ranked rather high. But Comp9, before we say goodbye to you, do you have any shout-outs, thank yous, anything that you'd like to leave us with before you head on out?
Shout out to my whole team, really. All great guys. I'm glad to like come across them over the last year through League of Legends. They're all great people. I just love to be around them. That's pretty much it.
Hey,
Not much
always
else.
great to shout out the guys, and excited to see you hit the main stage with them on the main roster as AOE randoms, looking like a squad of 5 that hopefully by the end of the split, you guys are not randoms. We get to become very familiar with you. So best of luck putting your best foot forward for Proving Grounds. Looking forward to seeing a lot of you hopefully this next split.
Yep. You'll see us.
Hello, everyone. I'm Matt Cubby Samuelson, and joining me for this is going to be Kyle Shorthop Raposo, the new marksman for AOE Randoms, who you have seen competing in UPL, and that's kind of where I wanted to start this one off. You guys have had a lot of competition leading up to Proving Grounds qualifiers, and I'm kind of curious what you think of the roster going into that and what your expectations are for the season.
Well, we have a lot of faith in our roster. The few of us, me, myself, Chim, and Pockets, we've played together for, I guess, a few months on and off, with a little bit of a stint of not playing together in January. But a lot of faith in the roster. We've also known Competition 9 and Josie for a while, so bringing all the pieces together and being able to start practice over the last week, I'd say, after sort of finalizing our roster and what our plans are, has been great. Have been loving playing with them, and obviously we can be doing better, but I think over time, when we start getting in more effective practice, that's going to be showing.
Yeah, I know that you mentioned some of those teammates you've been playing with for a while. Actually, one of the center on Pocus, a support that you guys have been a duo going back to a new Rising, and also now with AOE Randoms. What kind of keeps you two together, and what do you like about playing with Pocus?
Well, the thing with Pocus is that out of all the supports I've played with, he's taught me the most, and he has so that was extremely nice to be able to play with him in the first place. But I guess now that I've sort of absorbed everything he has to throw at me, the great part about playing with him is that we're always on the same page, and he plays an extremely high level. Pogus can play either a strong side bot or a weak side bot and open up the map for success, or open me up for success. He's extremely flexible and versatile, and a lot of people sort of overlook that about him, possibly the same way that people tend to overlook myself and Chim, just because we are quote unquote older players. But we have a lot to prove, and we still want to show people that we're quite talented, I guess, and that's what I really see in Paucus. He just always brings something new to the table, and I love playing with him for that.
Yeah, always great to have some innovations coming out from your teammates. And speaking of teammates as well, you mentioned Jim quite a bit, your team at UWO, you being a part of course, both rosters that made the finals for CLOL in your guys' history. And what's it mean for you and the rest of the University of Western Ontario boys to kind of see a lot of the players that have gone through that club program end up on some of these amateur rosters?
It's heartwarming, of course. The talent that ends up at Western isn't collegiate scouted talent. We don't have like an official program. I say we, even though I've graduated, but I still try to be there for them. That's just how much I love them. But people show up to the school because they want to be there for their education, and from that we pick the best of the best that we have. And year after year, no matter where a player starts, they have just shown massive improvements. We had Blaze Nova and Winston, who were diamond players that improved over time through just their dedication to the game as well as working with the team. And I definitely think Western has a winning formula for how to really put a team together and how to facilitate self-improvement. And that's shown year after year after year. So I'm really proud of them. I'm happy to see our new players, even the ones I didn't get to play with, like Skytech, like Cyber, really improving and making their way and making names on teams for themselves. So really happy. And I'm sure Chims shares the same sentiment because we were together there for a few years. So yeah, it's awesome.
Absolutely. All right, Short Hop, that's all I have. But before I let you go, just kind of curious, do you have any shout outs, thank yous, or anything else you'd like to say?
Shout outs to Paucus and Chim. Those two in particular have always had a lot of faith in me and helped me improve. And I have unwavering faith in their gameplay. No matter if we get knocked down, we're always going to get back up stronger, and hoping to show that to everybody. Not to say that I don't love Competition 9 and Josie as well, my other teammates, but those two have always had a lot of faith in me. So special shout out to those two.
Yeah, hey, it's great to say thanks to the core as you guys have traveled with a lot of rosters together and end up here at AOE Randoms. Short Hop, thanks so much for your time, and best of luck in the OQs and in this Proving Ground season. Looking forward to seeing what your squad can do.
Thank you, Cubby.
Hey everyone, Matt Cubby Samuelson, and joining me for this one is going to be Antoine Pocus Bertrand Lafreniere. How'd I do? Not bad? Bad?
That was pretty good. Pretty good.
Okay, I did okay. We stumbled through that as we've got a wonderful French player, the support for AOE Randoms, joining us, and I'm excited to talk to you about, first off, your expectations for this Proving Ground season. You guys have been playing together a little bit as a roster over in UPL, but what do you expect from your squad going into Proving Grounds?
I don't know how good we're gonna do it first. We just recently came off of a 0-3 against Revival, right? Who didn't qualify for Proving Ground last split, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that looks pretty bad for us, but we're pretty confident we'll bounce back, and we're looking to compete. Maybe not for the top spots eventually for it, but just looking to have fun and improve with my squad there.
Yeah, and I know that one thing that I talked with Short Hop about concerning you is that you guys have actually been a duo for quite a long time. What's one of the things you really like about playing with Short Hop, and what's something that you think is unique about your duo in the bot lane?
We get along really well for sure, right? And we trust each other a lot, right? Like any duo that would play for such a long time. Something unique is that we can play both different styles, right? We can play the weak side where like I roam a lot, and Short Up's fine giving resources for that. But we can also play for the lane and play for the lane advantages, right? Like Short Up's able to play strong and weak side very well. A lot of ADs are usually like one or the other. I think until a higher level, right? So I think that's pretty good about us. I really like Short Up. He respects me. I respect him, and we give each other feedback to help each other improve.
Yeah, and that kind of respect is exactly what we like to see and hear about, as we do have to dive into the rest of your squad. I know that you have a lot of Chim from UWO along with Short Hop, but I'm kind of curious talking with you as you've kind of jumped around quite a few rosters, notably I think Just Randoms being one of the stronger rosters that you've been a part of. What have you taken from the past competitive teams that you've learned and you feel like you can really bring to the table for this one?
Well, I've learned a lot of things, right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's just experience, shot calling, getting better at, playing the champions properly. Specifically, just managing a team, like making sure that we're productive in reviews, right? And there's respect, but there's also criticism going on, right? Like we held each other accountable. Yeah, I mean, it's just experience through playing a lot of different rosters, right? And I figured out that, what's a good teammate and how can you have a functional teams, right? Because we don't have a coach, right? So it's important that the players respect each other, right? And, are open to criticism and criticize each other when needed, right? And I think this group of players can really do that by themselves, right?
Yeah, that's good to hear. As I always like to say, iron sharpens iron, right? If you guys are all a little bit hard on each other, makes it better in the end. And speaking of the end, Pocus, that's about all the time we have. But before I let you go, what is one thing you'd like to tell the AOE fans who may be new to you, or are there any thank yous or shout outs you'd like to give before we wrap on up?
I mean, mainly shout out to my teammates. Honestly, like they're super great, hardworking. They're very good at. It's the best bunch of players I've played with, like in my entire 3 or 4 years in amateur. Like it's really great to play with these guys. Yeah, that's my main shout out. Honestly, like my teammates are just super great. I like it.
Yeah, we'd love to hear that, as the teammates going to be the ones helping each other get better going into the split, going into OQs, where Pocus, best of luck to you and the rest of AOE randoms in those OQs and throughout this entire Proving Ground season. Sure going to be seeing a lot of you.
Thank you.